Hi guys, I was outside in a garden and I tried to do a video of a reading sitting in a park. Not a park bench. It's a park near inside a library here in New York in Greenwich Village. Anyway, so it was interesting, but it didn't work. Somebody interrupted me, but the question I asked was about Roger Stone. Okay, and I think I may actually include this. I'm going to include this actually and decided to include that reading, but it showed what does it mean for Roger Stone in sort of I guess, symbolic terms, right? That it's the judgment day for him, that truth is going to come out and he can't escape it, okay? And that's that. Now, I like to know how is in the, well, it's pretty obvious that Roger Stone's going to be indicted, but how does Mueller tie Roger Stone to this? Is Roger Stone next, or how? What's the story with Roger Stone and these people? Because he was in close contact with one of them. I guess Gucci for 2.0 or whatever. Okay, so let's find out more about the connection of how the connection of Roger Stone will be exposed with these people and what the question really it's a little bit complicated is really well it's not that complicated. I see the Mueller strategy as a series of concentric circles. So he started from the very outside outward, okay, so then he's here and then at the next layer, the next circle, I think it's Roger Stone. So how is Roger Stone tied to this by Mueller, and who else goes down with Roger Stone? Because that's what I think, guys. First, Mueller goes in one circle, and then another circle, a little bit like a spiral until he gets to the center. Okay, but it's more like a concentric circle. It's like the farther out, and then going inward and inward and inward. So who is going to be tied to these hackers next? And assuming that Roger Stone is going to be tied with these hackers, right? How did how does he fall, and who else falls with him at the same time? Like at the same, the same indictment day or something like that. Okay, I know there's going to be a lot of indictments, but I don't think he's going to be indicted alone. I think there's got to be more people. But who? How is the indictment of Roger Stone presented in relationship to these hackers? Okay, all right. So whoever these spirits are laughing. They're like, ha ha, so great to see justice, heavenly justice happen in real life. So this guy has done so much harm to people. It's interesting. It's showing me also all Franken. He's done harm to all Franken. He's done harm to many people who. It's showing me, guys, even that he may have actually raped people. I don't know. But anyway, so he. I'm going to talk about this. I talk about this part of this, his self hatred in the other video, but that's okay. So tell me, what is the network? How does he go next? So let's tell me now. It's showing me this guy. Who is this guy? I don't recognize him. I don't know him. Tell me, who is this person connected to Roger Stone? Banker. Okay. Banker who processes his expenses. Okay, so money laundry. Okay, that's it. So they get the way. I think I've seen it before, but it's showing they get him first by proving that he receives Russian money in some way. Okay. The accountant has admitted to this, and now there's some weird trades, financial trades. I think even could be the bitcoins or crypto or something like that. Okay, so what else? So then they get oh my god, it's guys, it's really it's a net. And remember that there's a card, consolante surpresa. It's a net, right? They catch the money. So it's like as soon as they spread to the guy who's maybe his accountant, then they understand. They grab all the people who are also. It's kind of like the goals like that. So okay, so they get him financially, and they get because they need to establish that he did it because there was a financial motive as well. Okay, it's like he knows he hates, obviously he hates Hillary and so forth, but that was not the motive. The motive really was financial, and it's showing. It's going to say, look, this guy, he's so careless that he only cares about money. It's not about what it's not about what he hates, it's about what he cares. It's like he did it for money. Okay, so all right, so and influence, because he felt like if it did this, then he would go back to being no longer being that person who was on the edges of everything. Okay, so then how oh, that's it, guys. That's it. It's showing me this is a big. This is I've said before, guys. I don't remember which reading it was. If you search Roger Stone and tarot politics, it's probably going to come up. But it's showing here now. I understand. I've said before that there is some sort of, was it Sean Hannity? I think it was Roger Stone. Okay, that there is a newsletter of some sort, propaganda newsletter. Okay, and it comes directly from the Kremlin. It's proved by multiple people over there, the Kremlin, and then he goes to Roger Stone, and Roger Stone passes it on to all these Daily Caller, Breitbart, all these networks. Okay, and he connects. That's the thing. That's the connection, guys. He pushes. This is the first. Roger Stone ties the hacking and propaganda together. Okay, because he not only got them to share the emails, connect the dates, but also provide the hashtags and the propaganda with. And it's showing me, guys, Robert Mercer, because I've said before, Robert Mercer is a linguist, so he understands these things. Okay, so Cambridge Analytica. Okay, so it gave me this kind of like a schema. Okay, so they put so the propaganda terms are shared with Roger Stone. Okay, so he shares with these Daily Caller or whatever the propaganda, the media, quote unquote media, right? So then the same source, I think the Kremlin or whatever Russian something, shares this with Brad Pascal and Cambridge Analytica. So then there's two bifurcations. One is the Brad Pascal part, which what does it do? He sends it off to the troll farms. Okay, so he manages. Oh, there's a troll farms in Russia, and there's also the troll farms in the US and different countries. He controls the messaging of bots and trolls. Okay, and the part with Cambridge Analytica was that Cambridge Analytica does the Facebook propaganda stuff. Okay, so they create the targeting. Yeah, that's right. They determine who to target, how to target. But the messaging, like I said, the messaging not comes from the Kremlin, I believe. Okay, and it's spread out to these networks. First, Roger Stone is a contact with the American far right media in general. Cambridge Analytica is the connection to the Facebook ads. Is that right? Facebook ads and troll farms. Well, you know, the troll farms connect to troll farms connect to Brad Pascal. Okay, so he gives them, make sure that there's coordination, there's dates, important dates, and how and when to change. And it's showing me, guys, also that Brad Pascal passes it on to what's the guy from the alt-right? The guy that, what is it, Richard something? You know what I'm talking about? The guy who was punched in Washington one time? Richard, I forgot his name. You know what I'm talking, I don't know, I've seen his face. It's like the guy, oh, I was like, was it a rat? Something else like this. So, Richard, you know, I forget their names, thank God. You know, it's the main guy who, the far right, white supremacist guy, I forgot his name, Richard Spencer, that's right. So he pushes that to Richard Spencer because Richard Spencer also has a network of trolls. But those are paid. They are paid. So those far right white supremacist people are paid to troll, also in the US. Okay, convert and troll. Okay, so that's, it goes that way. Okay, and then it's showing, guys, like I said, connecting the messaging. And so it's showing that Roger Stone is very important in this, a lot more important than we think. And that these networks are very scared because they know that it's not about the hacking. And Mueller hasn't mentioned the propaganda yet, but he's gonna do it next. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Comes next. So the moment that Roger Stone is tied to these networks, he's then tied to how he helps spread the propaganda terms, and that's how it gets to then to Brad Pascal, then to Brad Pascal, to Cambridge Analytica, to Cambridge Analytica, to Robert Mercer, and so forth. Okay, so like I said, it's a sound. It's a little bit like earthquakes, right? It's like a concentric circle. First the outside, and then in. So I think that's that, guys. And yeah, I think it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna. I feel like, yeah, it's gonna go to maximum security. I feel like Roger Stone is like, oh, those like steel, whatever, those doors. They're like, he's gonna go to some. I feel like it's gonna be interrogated, kind of like harshly interrogated, not like tortured, but kind of, he's not gonna be. He's gonna be shipped away to some like almost like a black site, okay, for interrogation, something like that. Like they're gonna not. They won't tell people where he is, kind of thing. He's going to be arrested, but he's going to have to be in one of those FBI, kind of like the treatment they would give somebody who is, who was like a prisoner of war, like an enemy combatant, right? Similar. So he's going to have to answer, and it's going to be tough. He's going to be indicted. Yeah, I don't think but he wasn't. There was no conversation. Yeah, so I feel like he's just gonna go to jail first, and then if he wants, yeah, I just feel like he's gonna be cut off from the world pretty soon. And I think I don't remember if I said in the other earlier reading I did about him when I closed my eyes, that I think he's crying, saying about it, the grandkids. I don't think, and I think even consider suicide, but I don't think he'll do it. I don't think he will. So anyway, so that's that, guys. I'm gonna stop now. Okay, that was Roger Stone. Okay.